A mashup between the lost city of Petra and a late night out in Berlin. The museum's daring themes of sex and death are in blunt contrast to the people of Hobart, Tasmania's capital, who are modest and courteous. For an extra thrill, you can join the Naturist Tour in the Buff after 9 p.m. The guards and guides will also be naked. This unconventional approach to art belongs to David Walsh, a mysterious multimillionaire and mathematical savant who came out of obscurity in 2007. Walsh made his money gambling, not in a James Bond sexy kind of way, but rather in an applied mathematics kind of way. While pursuing a degree in math, he figured out that you could make money at casinos if you knew how to play within reasonable limits. The odds are always in favor of the house, but some money can still be made with low-yield, low-risk betting, backed up by a large amount of cash. Walsh found a partner to provide the financial backing and wrote an algorithm that proved profitable in computerized gambling with a focus on horse racing. As he made a fortune, he overcame a lingering social awkwardness from a sickly childhood and decided to go public, opening his quirky hobbies to the world and hoping for an audience. While Walsh is atypical in many ways, he is quite normal in one way that marks all mentally healthy individuals. At some point, we all create something and hope that other people will act on it. Read it, listen to it, like it, buy it, or recommend it to others. We want to influence people's choices. But how do we get others to act in our favor in an age of increasing competition, complexity, and noise? This book reveals how to spark action by using an overlooked variable, memory. People act on what they remember, not on what they forget. The concept of memory is refueling the efforts of scholars and neuroscientists who are deepening the understanding of human behavior. The latest scientific findings place memory at the heart of adaptive behavior and decision-making. Scientists are also increasingly worried that our society is being stripped of the responsibility to remember much. We have increasingly more devices and programs that remember for us. Our phones store people's numbers, social apps remind us of birthdays, slides prompt us on what to say in presentations, and more recently, plants can use Twitter to remind us to water them. At this rate, we are grooming generations of amnesiacs. It is useful to have machines that remember things for us, but, at least for now, humans are responsible for evolving our society, and organic memory is at the core of what happens next. Particularly in business, if we don't have a systematic way of getting others to remember what is important, we have to rediscover the formula for success every day. Forgetting hurts business. Before Mona, Walsh had bought a 2-acre property with 2 houses on it and converted one of them into a small museum. He remembers creating a venue that was elegant, white, understated, and basically generic. In other words, forgettable. Does this resemble business content you see? Initially, Walsh considered the idea of a small museum out of necessity, and then out of guilt. He and his partner had won $18,000 at a casino in South Africa and discovered that, legally, they could not take that much money across the border. So, he spent the money on an antique door instead. And that kindled his appetite for art collecting. One piece led to another, and before long, his house was filled to overflowing. When one of his cats broke an expensive piece, he knew he had to do something with his art collection. He liberated the original Bland Museum by turning it into a venue that people could rent for work events or social functions. He enjoyed watching people experience parties within the context of a museum, and that combination stayed on his mind when imagining Mona. He kept asking obsessively, what will happen if I alter the purpose of visiting a museum? What would get people through the doors? What will be memorable? He even asked, what if no one comes? These questions are natural because when we aspire to be part of people's future decisions,